Come on, man. If you can't control yourself and grow up and act like adults so everyone around you can have a nice family vacation, maybe Universal and Disney are not for you. It is so surprising why people are kicked out of theme parks like Disney and Universal what seems like every month. Over my 14 years of going to theme parks like Disney and Universal, I have seen some absolutely crazy things, but none are as wild as what I'm about to cover. And towards the end of this video, I'll be covering some of Disney's best attractions ever made. But first, we have some insane stories to dive into. This first park guest sets the bar extremely high and will also set the tone for how crazy some people can be on their theme park vacation. John Monroe was arrested and banned from Walt Disney World for an assault on a cast member who was then charged with battery. Monroe evidently showed up with a large group of people to Citricos inside of Disney's Grand Floridian for dinner one night. If you don't know, Citricos is one of Disney's premier restaurants on its property, and it has a dress code that goes along with it to follow the standards to set the mood for the entire restaurant. Well, Monroe showed up intoxicated as well as being completely underdressed for the occasion. The hostess at the front stand told him that, hey, you will not be able to step foot inside the restaurant and dine with the rest of the group tonight because you were underdressed at the time, not knowing that he was completely intoxicated. Monroe agreed and said fine. Well, when the host came back to get the rest of the group, things escalated crazily. He asked to wait beforehand with the rest of the group and then that he would leave. But when the host came back, that didn't happen. The host came to get the rest of the party, and at that point, Monroe went crazy, slapping the host in the head 3 times. The host was not severely injured and declined treatment from the authorities, but did press charges after the ordeal. If you thought that was crazy, you haven't seen anything yet. You won't believe the stories that I'm about to get into. But before we get there, if you could, smash the like button because, you know, the algorithm and stuff, yeah, it likes that. So please, smash the like button. In May of last year, 2 people were kicked out of Walt Disney World. And we know, look, May, it's the start of summer. Disney World's packed. It's absolutely crazy most of the time. But here is something that's just completely uncalled for. A family was taking a group photo, and what sucks is that they're not really in fault here. A larger family ended up getting inside the frame and blocking some of the picture. So someone from the family politely asked, hey, will you kind of step aside so we can finish up what we're doing here? Well, in that quick instance, tempers roared, and one of the family members from the larger party, not the one taking the picture, the other party, punched the person asking the question. From there, the police were called. 2 people from the larger family were actually arrested, and they were giving trespass warnings, meaning that if they ever step foot on Walt Disney World property again, they would be arrested. Okay, people fighting is always nuts, but the next one that I have to cover makes me question people's morals. So let's get into it. Look, no one likes standing in lines at theme parks. Why? Because we all know that they are godforsakenly long. But it comes with the territory. But to go with that, some people just can't seem to grow up. People are evidently faking disabilities to use the disability skip the line pass associated with both Disney and Universal theme parks. And at first, you wouldn't think that is super crazy, but morally, it is wrong. But more importantly, on top of that, these passes are limited. And when people fake disabilities to use them, it takes the option away from people who actually need it. Like, come on, man. If you can't control yourself and grow up and act like adults so everyone around you can have a nice family vacation, maybe Universal and Disney are not for you. This is getting so bad that Disney has stated that anyone caught lying to get the disability pass will immediately get a lifetime ban and it will never be lifted. So all of this is crazy as we know it so far, but this next one seems to have people on the fence about it. Was the family that got kicked out of the park next in the wrong? Or was it the theme park that should have been reprimanded? A family was kicked out of Universal Studios Orlando not too long ago, and what's crazy is why they were kicked out. It's all over a t-shirt. This family goes on to state that the shirt that someone was wearing, which happens to be the father of the group, had police written on it. Well, Universal Security stated that, hey, you cannot wear a shirt that has the words police on it unless you are an active duty police officer working in Universal. Well, the family member said, sorry, this was a gift from my brother. I can take it off. I'll go buy a new shirt. Well, in between that happening and the next 10 minutes or so, I guess, Universal Security evidently got aggressive. They got rude and told the family, you're not going to even buy a shirt. You can just leave. You're done. Just move on. The family, upset because they were celebrating some anniversary or party or event at that time, left the park. But also, what's crazy is that Universal gave them a full refund as well. So I'm not sure who necessarily is in the wrong here, but it was all over a t-shirt. It makes me wonder, was it all worth it? What do you think? Do you think that this t-shirt and the interaction between security was called for? Let me know in the comments below. Like I said, these events are absolutely wild, and some people get completely out of hand. And it makes me wonder, why get into these altercations in the first place? You're spending a lot of money to go to these theme parks. We know it costs a lot of money, and yeah, you might get tired, you might get irritable, but is it all worth it at the end of the day? Oh, by the way, I didn't forget. I still have to cover Disney's best attractions ever made. And I did so right here. And you're not going to believe who actually made that list. So go check it out.